Hello, friends, and welcome back to Cultivating Her. Today's episode is actually an interview with another healer whose work I find fascinating. Wendy Mooney Smith from Mangatas Muse is a certified sound healer and a Reiki master. She has an extensive background in corporate medicine, which I feel reflects an integrative layer into her healing practice. In our conversation, we explore the powerful connection between frequency and our well being. We run the gamut on how stress impacts the body, the science behind sound healing, and why vibrational healing is such an incredible tool for nervous system regulation. We also touch on trauma healing and how the body keeps the score, unpacking how stored emotions and past experiences can manifest in our health, and then, more importantly, how sound can help us shift and release what no longer serves us. It was an insightful conversation that I cannot wait to share with you. So get comfortable, take a deep breath, and let's dive in. Welcome to Cultivating Her, breaking taboos, balancing hormones, and redefining women's health. I'm your host, Christy Edgar, an integrative nutrition health coach and holistic lifestyle expert. Join me as we dive into the world of menstrual health, hormone balance, and the connection to women's wellness. Whether you're looking to decode your cycle, tackle PMS, or manage menopause, this show is your go-to to syncing your lifestyle with your hormonal rhythms. Through candid conversations, practical tips, and a few expert interviews, Cultivating Her empowers women to embrace their cycles and align their lifestyle to boost energy and thrive in every phase of life. Subscribe now and start flowing with confidence as we redefine what it means to be a woman with harmonious health. Welcome, Wendy, to the Cultivating Her podcast.
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to talk to you guys about sound healing today. That's awesome.
Yeah, I cannot wait. So, let's just jump right in. How about if
Okay.
you share, like a little bit about who you are, what you
Okay.
do, and what led you to sound healing?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, my name is Wendy Mooney Smith. I am the owner of Mangatas Muse, Sound Healing and Reiki Practice, and the Spiritual Soul Boutique. I'm located in Franklin, Pennsylvania. I am a sound healer, a Reiki master slash teacher, a yoga instructor, and I've been in healthcare for over 30 years. I have 30 years of experience as somebody who's been a practitioner. I was a respiratory therapist, I was a sleep specialist, I worked in the operating room setting. So I have lots of rehabilitation settings. I have lots and lots of experience in healthcare. I've been a jack of all trades, master of none, if you will.
But
And my
more
last, yeah.
Western medicine.
Yes,
Yes, okay.
definitely Western medicine, more of the traditional, yes, in the hospital settings, in the traditional healthcare settings.
Okay.
So, my last stint in healthcare, I was in the operating room and I negotiated contracts for hospital systems to use our product exclusively. We had a specialty operating room table for hip and spine procedures. And I practiced yoga while I was in this industry to help alleviate the stress. You can imagine there was a lot of stress. I
Uh,
traveled all over the country.
yes, I would imagine so.
Yes, I got stranded in many cities later on during when the airlines were having their issues and it just was stressful. It was a very good paying job, but it was stressful and it was wreaking havoc on my health and my mental faculties. And I am a breast cancer survivor, so I have already once gone through the gamut of healthcare myself with stress related jobs that caused problems within my body.
Mhm.
And I said, I got to do something different. So I was going to yoga and I sat in January of 22 for a sound bath. I walked into a yin yoga class and one of the instructors was going to play her sound bowls. And I thought, I am going to hate this. I am literally going to hate this. I don't like the fan running over the stove. I'm going to go, this noise is going to grate on my every nerve. I'm going to hate it. And I said, all right, being open minded. I thought, okay. So in Shavasana, at the end of our practice, she played the sound bowls for an extended time. And I was like a noodle. And being a sleep specialist myself, I had issues with sleep. My brain never shuts off. And I thought, oh God, I slept like a baby that night. I never, it was just like I left and I was so relaxed.
Yeah,
And
I
I
can
thought, okay,
attest to that.
I,
That's
I need to look into this. And I'm still in healthcare, mind you. I'm still in the corporate world. And I went to go consult with somebody in September of that year, and I'm just not happy. Like meditation is definitely a part of my life, and the bowls are a part of my life, but I'm still doing the traditional medicine thing, and I'm still in the rat race, and I'm still in the grind. And I go, and she says, I don't see you doing what you're doing much longer. She goes, I see you looking and searching out and doing something that's more fulfilling for you. And I thought, interesting, because I'd been weighing out whether to get certified in sound healing. I left that meeting and I came home and I found Susie with the Sound Healers Academy. And I called and I registered and I got into the school because you had to submit an application to get in. And she accepted me and I started in October of 22 and graduated the end of January in 23. And it was a profound, life-changing experience, so much so that I quit my corporate job in April of 2023 to do this full time. I gave up all of it.
so
I gave up
major paradigm shift. Like,
major shift,
so
major shift.
for
Yeah.
those of us who are not, like, maybe have heard of sound healing or maybe have even
Yeah.
experienced it a little bit, explain what it is about the sound that is so healing.
Yes. Well, first, let's just talk about biomechanics and healing in
Mm-hmm.
that sense. Because on the very, very basic level, we're energy. I'm energy, you're energy.
Right.
Everything around us is energy.
The definition is
And
molecules in motion, which
y-
we in fact are.
yes, we in fact are. And so if you remember from science class, what do we know? Energy can't be created
Or
or
destroyed.
destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
It can only be transferred, right?
Yes, correct.
So if I'm energy and you're energy and energy vibrates and we measure vibration in hertz, when our energy and our vibration is off or lowered, that's when we experience disease, whether it
Mm-hmm.
be anxiety or depression. We don't handle stress as well. It can lead to actual physical ailments. I've had clients with psoriasis that exacerbates through stressful situations.
Yes.
So addiction is a form of a disease, right? Cancer.
Yes.
So through science, first and foremost, sound healing is taking vibration that is higher than ours. So I have bowls that are 440 hertz. I have bowls that are at 432 hertz, 528 hertz. Through entrainment, and entrainment is when the stronger energy takes over and elevates the lower vibrational energy and brings it up. So the bowls are a higher vibration than what we are. And through entrainment, that stronger energy elevates your energy to allow you to feel more relaxed, to try to deal with anxiety, to deal with depression, to deal with the stress. So that's how sound healing works, is through elevating your vibration, your hertz, if you will, to a higher level to heal you from within. And then you can incorporate the spiritual side. I didn't anticipate that when I got into bonging bowls, to be honest with you. I thought I was just going to bong some bowls and swirl, and I know how it made me feel, and I wanted to share with other people how it made me feel. But then the
Mm-hmm.
spiritual journey kind of fell into place with it because you got to go
Well,
that we were given this gift from
it is
something.
interesting to me that, I read a very interesting book, The Body Keeps the Score, and I started
Yes.
working in fascia. And so trauma will get stuck in the fascia of the body. And even
Hmm.
though mentally we think we're okay, like the body is still holding on to whatever the trauma was, which is so intriguing to me. Um, because of course, when you're in the whole holistic side of things and you're looking at all of those aspects, that's not something that we always think to look at. Like, oh, well, what is my fascia telling me about my health? But
Hmm.
I personally was in an experience where, you know, and what it is that something will trigger a memory or a smell or a feeling, and the body immediately goes back into that state, right?
Hmm. Yeah, 100%. I've
So
experienced it myself. Yes.
it's
Yeah.
interesting to think that through vibration and sound, we can heal those things.
Yes.
Now, talk a little bit about, so you explained how the bowls can elevate our vibration
Yes.
just to help with stress and anxiety. What about other types of healing? Like, for instance, the trauma healing.
Yes. So, as you mentioned, with the trauma, it's stored, right? We women in particular, how much trauma do we store in our hips? So many times we think our back pain is related to our backs when more often it's stress in our hips. And as soon as we move that, right? As soon as we move that, our hips and somatic yoga is huge now, right? Moving that energy.
As is
So the
pelvic floor
bowls,
therapy, like supporting the
yeah,
pelvis in general for women. I mean, we give birth to humans, for heaven's sakes. Like,
right?
yeah, I mean, we're
Yes.
superheroes.
Yes, yes. And so the bowls, we have we do work a lot with the chakra system. For sure. You know, you can't really talk about sound healing without talking about the chakras.
Hmm.
And our lower chakras tend to be the ones that we always talk about the heart chakra or the third eye or the crown. And that's great for spiritual work. And yes, the sound healing works for people who are looking to connect with that side. But I think the biggest surprise that we get is when they feel something move in their lower chakras and they just start crying, triggering that trauma, releasing and allowing the fascia, if you will, to sort of relax. So the sound bowls allow you to relax, to help you face that trauma, to deal with that trauma. You're lying there with your eyes closed. You hear the song. I walk you through a meditation, and I am encouraging you to face and release your trauma with the support of the bowls. So you come out, you settle out. We call it dropping. You just relax. Yeah, I love to see that. When the whole room just drops. It's like whoosh, just to see everyone drop and train to the bowls. And then that allows you to open up and deal with some of the things that you have been faced with in your past
Well,
and just moving that energy.
I almost think about it too like a ripple on water, right? Like,
Yes.
because the fascia carries our lymph and the lymph is liquid, like it can't help
Uh-huh.
but be affected by the vibration of the bowl. So it has to
Correct.
move, like whether we want it to or not. That's why it's almost like a gentle way of helping release trauma, right?
It is a gentle way, and people don't expect, if they never sat for a sound bath in particular, it is amazing how many people will just start crying. And you look at their faces when they come up out of it and they're like, why am I crying? And I warn people ahead of time, not warn them, but this is what to expect. If you start crying, let it happen. That is your body telling you you are finally letting this go. That energy that has been trapped in your fascia, if you will, for this conversation, has finally moved and flown through and out of you. And then you just start crying and you're like, what is happening? I don't understand. You're looking at me like, why is this? And you're just touching your face. I watch people in their reaction when they're lying there before me, and I'll see people kind of wipe away tears. And I'm like, just let it happen. Don't block it. So while I love Western medicine to help us understand maybe that XYZ happened in our
Hmm.
life and that's why we deal with things, they don't necessarily teach you how to release that. And it doesn't need to be anything formal. I mean, there are other ways, right? We talk about writing a letter and maybe burning it or something like that to
All
your younger
right.
self while you were going through this. But this is a calm and natural way for you to just lie there and let that energy move through you.
Right. And also, I mean, just from a stress level, like in here, because we talk about hormones and hormonal health, as women, with the stress level and cortisol and the effect that cortisol has on the body, like the negative effect that it has, like even just the stress relief part of slowing down and settling and allowing just time and space for stillness and quiet.
Yes, we don't do that enough, do we, ladies?
Oh man, we're all so guilty of going 100 miles an hour with our hair on fire, right?
Yes, yes. We just go. We just go. And we think that we're doing ourselves, like if our list is checked off at the end of the day, well, yeah, all right, from a proficiency perspective, you got all of your stuff done, but what did that do to you mentally? Are you taking the time after the end of such a proficient day, just taking time and going, okay, now I need to take care of myself? No,
Oh,
no,
I
we don't do
love
it.
that. Yes, because here's the thing, like, and I say this whenever I'm talking about stress, is like, oh, we have to reduce it, which sometimes isn't possible, but then if we, on the flip side, like you're saying, if we're intentional about creating space to manage the stress in a healthy way, then we're in essence helping manage the cortisol levels and keep them low so that we're not getting ourselves all out of balance.
Yes, active release of cortisol. And when I say active, I'm not talking about, we were just discussing before the call, right? Exercise
Oh,
and actual physical, whether it be the Peloton, whether it be running or whatever it is. Okay, yeah, that's active. But I'm meaning from I'm actively setting the intention to set 10 minutes aside a day, whether it be at the start of your day, whether it be at the end of your day, whether it's both, right? Maybe 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes at night, to just sit in stillness in the morning, setting the intention for your day.
hmm?
And then at the end of the night, if you've had a stressful day or a very active day in your day to day activities and you were super proficient, maybe just reflecting on what that did to you at 10 minutes at the end of the day, just lying there in bed and saying, okay, I was great today. I knocked it out of the park. I now need some quiet time to celebrate those wins, give myself grace for doing what I did do and what I didn't do, and just allowing that reflection to come through and releasing any negative energy that could get trapped in our fascia because we don't take the time to set the intention of what it is that we need from this life, whether it be in the morning or at night, and just reflecting on that.
Mm-mm-mm. Oh, that is so
Mm-mm.
good. I feel like those are like little nuggets of gold that we just dropped on people. Like, because what is 10 minutes in the whole scheme of your day, right? I mean, I do talk
Yeah,
about that with people, like a gratitude practice, at the end of the day, just taking a few minutes to sit in gratitude of like, I killed it today. Like, I was
yeah,
amazing. Or being realistic and honest and being like, you know what, it didn't quite go the way I planned, but here's some great things that did come out of it. Right?
yeah,
Because sometimes we have these unexpected things that happen in our life that we're just like, oh, we have to deal with this. And instead of, like you said, we just focus on the negative and we hold on to that instead of letting that part go and looking at like the silver lining, so to speak, of the things that did occur.
Yeah. Oh, we beat ourselves up, don't we? Oh my gosh, do we
We
beat
really
ourselves up?
do.
Oh,
Yeah.
instead of just going, okay, this is who I am, and I did the best that I could. And whether that means you get up in the morning and you have zero energy, and you just go, you know what? My intention for today, I call it a chipper. I used to do CrossFit. So to
Oh.
talking about the stressfulness of what I did, I competed in some competitions back in the day. And it was like very, I mean, if you think about CrossFit, right? It
Oh.
is so like go, 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 go. So stressful, so stressful. Talk about cortisol
High
release. I couldn't
intensity
do
interval.
that
Yeah,
now.
it's too
Hi,
much. At
yes,
our age, I
yeah.
wouldn't even recommend that to any woman, truthfully.
Oh,
Like,
I know, but I loved it. I loved it. But
sure.
we would do a workout called a chipper. And there are some days that I get up and I'm like, I just want to just lay on this couch and just let drool come out of the corner of my mouth and stare off. And I know I've got this laundry list of things to do. And so I get up and I'm like, okay, today's a chipper day. Like setting that intention and going, this is how I feel. What is the realistic aspect of me getting everything done on my list and going, it's not going to happen today. So I'm going to just do a chipper. I'm going to do this first thing on the list. And then if that means I sit on the couch for a minute and just reflect on that, awesome. If I can, right? Sometimes we just have to push through, but we try not to, and then do something else, and then do something else. And by the end of the day, okay, I got 3 out of the 5 things done. And being happy with that and being okay with that, you
Yeah.
know?
And showing ourselves grace. I mean, we're so quick to show grace to others, but when it
I
comes to
know.
ourselves, we're just so hard all the time. And sometimes
Oh,
we're not meant to. Sometimes, like even for us in certain things that we've worked on together, like, and we just accept, like, yes, it's disappointing, but you know what? Clearly it was not intended to be today. Like, whether we chose that or not, we're just living with it.
yes.
Like, it is what it is. We're not going to let ourselves get upset about it. We're not going to stress out about it. So I love this idea of be intentionally trying to keep our stress levels low, and then
Yes.
using the bowls, oh my goodness, as a way
Yes.
to kind of participate actively. And let's be real, we're all laying on a mat with our blanket and our pillow and we're all comfy and cozy. So that's about as
Yeah.
active as it gets, is just
Yes.
intentionally deciding to show up.
I know. And it's so funny because, well, let's just say first, I think it's important. People need to know sound healing is not actually new. It has been around since 2000 BC. It has been around for a really, really, really long time. We think about how music affects us and so forth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you guys know you're in the car and that song comes on, and I don't care where you are in your day, there's that one song. Whether you're in the car and you're dancing at the stoplight and someone's staring at you, or you're in the office and maybe you have headphones on and a song comes on and you just can't help but move your body. Like music is therapeutic.
Oh my gosh, it
So
can bring back so many emotions. Like, it could take you
so many
back.
emotions.
It can make you
Yeah.
happy. It can make you sad. Like,
Yeah.
music is life in my, I love music.
Yes, yes. And so knowing that, like, think about if you're having a good day and you want to listen to music, you intentionally pick music that is going to continue that feeling of having a good day.
Oh, that's a
Or
good
if you,
point.
like, think about when we were teenagers, right? And you had a breakup, and then you're like listening to all the sad songs to wallow in your misery, right? Because you just wanted to cry
uh,
it out. But so like the bowls are very similar to that, setting that intention of healing. Like I want to listen to these bowls that are healing and picking and choosing to do that. That's the other thing. Like we talk about intention. People come to me when they're ready to heal. And you, as you mentioned, like things just didn't work out, right? The universe did not want us to talk the other day. Today was the day we're supposed to talk. Maybe I was off. Maybe you were off. We just weren't meant to have this conversation then, and we're having it now. And I feel that way about my clients. Would
hmm
I love to be busier? Absolutely. But I also know people will come to me seeking healing when they are ready. People come to me when they're ready to go, okay, I'm putting aside all of the stigma. I'm going to give this a try. Or once they've been here, knowing that now this is an option for you to
Well,
come and go, I need to press the reset button and I can't do it on my own today. I can't meditate through what needs to happen. I'm going to actively participate in the sound bath.
I love that. And I say that about our health in general. Like, we have to be active participants. So we have to
Yes.
make decisions that are,
Yeah.
pushing
Yeah.
us to be the best that we can be. And I think that it's that
Absolutely.
paradigm shift too. Like, other people have it where they're in this Western medicine and they're sucked in, which, and I will also piggyback what you said. Like, I think that there's a place for it. I love that we can diagnose. I love that we can, give things a name. And I love that if people need medicine, that they can get it. But it
Yeah.
shouldn't be the first and only place that we go. There are so many other forms of healing that have been around for far longer than a pill.
Mm-hmm. 100%. And I am a testament to it. I was on an oral chemo. I was on an antidepressant. Of course, with both of those things, there were side effects. And I was
Mm-hmm.
talking to someone about that the other day. What are side effects? It's poison. Like, it's our body reacting to the poison that we're putting in our body through the use of Western medicine and medication and pills and all of that stuff. So people are looking for other alternatives because they're tired of putting a Band-Aid on a pill. So the pill will help with the depression, but it's going to cause stomach upset. So now you got to be on something for that, or it's going to cause this, so you got to be on something for this is an alternative to that. And since I've started active and mindful meditation and playing the bowls for other people, I mean, I practice, but I don't necessarily play for myself like I started when I first got into this. I'm sorry to say, but I play so much that I'm still benefiting that. And I do reflect. And I'm off of everything now. I don't need a pill to help with my depression. Now, I'm not saying this is true for everybody. Let's be clear about that. I am not a
Right.
doctor.
Right.
I don't even play one on TV.
But
If you guys need,
right. And there's
if you
no
guys need,
and we're not
yeah,
and there's no stigma against, like, if you need, because there is chemical imbalance. It's a real thing.
yeah,
But
yeah,
again, we still have to, the medicine helps for a time, and we still have
yes,
to look for the root cause, and we still have to look at lifestyle in order to really truly heal, right? Because
yes.
the medicine will work until it doesn't, and then we're back in the
Mhm.
office looking for the next medicine that does. So if we use the medicine as a tool in
Yes.
conjunction with these other ancient techniques and lifestyle interventions, then we can create the healing while we're using the medicine to kind of mask the symptom, and allow us to get to a place where we are healed, right? Because someone who's
Yes.
depressed is and who chemically has an imbalance, they need that medicine.
They do.
They
They do.
absolutely need it, and we just need to help them to understand that there are other ways than in conjunction to get them feeling even better, so that they don't have to continue taking it forever.
Correct. Correct. And in particular, I mean, what comes to mind is, we have the Wellbutrin or the Effexor or the Lexapro, the antidepressants. I used to see this a lot in my sleep world. How many people would come to me on antidepressants because they were not sleeping the way that they should? Well, let's look at that. Let's look at that chain, right? So you're not sleeping the way you should. Why are you not sleeping? I have anxiety. I can't shut my brain down. I'm depressed because I can't shut my brain down. So then you're not sleeping. It's a vicious wheel. How do we stick a spoke in that wheel, right? How do we stop that? Well, now I'm going to talk about mindfulness. I'm going to talk about meditation. I'm going to play the sound bowls for you. So guess what? You go home and you sleep better and you feel better the next day. And you're like, oh, there's something to this. And then you continue on that healthy path of going, okay, this is what works for me. So maybe we lessen the dose of your anti-anxiety medicine. You
Mm-hmm.
don't need as much. Or now they have pills, right? Your anti-anxiety medicine's working, but not quite enough. So we're going to give you another pill. Maybe you don't need that second pill now, you know? Like, so there are imbalances that happen, but a lot of the times it's still a chemical process within our body that is being disrupted.
Oh, no doubt.
And it's being disrupted because we're not sleeping. I mean, when I was a sleep specialist, the things that I would see, oh my gosh, it affects your heart rate. It affects that for your blood pressure, which then now your blood pressure's off. And so it's going to, I mean,
It's a
all our body
spiral.
is a complex, yeah, our
Yeah.
body's a complex system, right?
Right. And that's part of what we
So,
talk about here is trying to understand it and like
yeah,
really know what it's doing so that we can make the decisions that are best for us because everybody is different. Everybody needs something different, but it's just about that informed consent that we hear all the time.
yes.
Like we
Mm-hmm.
should know what's happening in our body. We should know how it works and what those systems are doing, you know? The majority of serotonin is produced in our gut. If our gut isn't healthy, uh, I mean, let's
Mm-hmm.
start there, you know? And then we're not
Yeah.
sleeping. I mean, I say this over and over and over again as a mom, like the first thing we say to our kids when they're overly emotional or they can't manage, you know, they cry or they're whatever, we're like, oh, you must be tired. But we don't
Yeah.
do the same thing to ourselves. And we don't acknowledge that sleep is such a powerful healing tool for us as
Such
humans.
Yes, such a powerful healing tool. And talking about this is what I found so fascinating because I am a science nerd at heart. I'm definitely left-brained. My friends in this environment laugh at me because I'm so analytical that I have to sit there and I'm like, now wait a minute, answer this, and then I gotta go, wait. This is you gotta let it go. Let it go in. That's one of those things. Let it go. But it is like, let's talk about the science once more. My bowls are tuned. I have one set that's called Quantum Healing. I had it specifically made because one of my passions is helping people that are fighting addiction. Addiction really hit my family hard. I lost my brother to addiction. My mom had issues with addiction. And so how it impacted my family was so profound. And my instructor that I went to school with, she had addiction issues and she's very open about it. And she went to a sound bath and that was all she needed. And I work with addicts. Okay. So knowing that I wanted to specialize in this, I had my bowls made working with somebody they're called quantum healing. Like say that name, quantum healing. I have watched grown men just burst into tears listening to these bowls, and they're sharps. They're constructed largely of sharps. Now, in the music world, you have natural notes, which are chakras are natural notes, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, right? We all know those notes.
Yep.
These are sharps. So they get into the endocrine system. They help with your pineal gland, which is in your brain, your third
Mm-hmm.
eye. They help with your thyroid. Like, who knew that different notes could actually impact different processes in your body, like the endocrine system? So I get my bowls to specifically help those seeking help, whether it's physical or mental.
I love it. I
They're
love it.
special. They're
Ah,
special.
yes, well they are. And so on that note, I want to say so first of all, tell people where they can find you.
Okay. You can find me, and actually today, we're talking on a Friday, so I know that this will be aired on a Wednesday, but that following Friday, look for me at Mangatas Muse on Facebook, and I do a live midday meditation every Friday for about 10 minutes so that people during their lunch break can experience a sound bath in the middle of their day. If you never sat for one, you want to see what it's about, you can watch me on Facebook. I do a live every Friday at noon.
Completely free
And
and for 10
then,
minutes.
yeah,
Okay.
completely free. And then I have a physical location in Franklin, downtown Franklin on 314 West Park Street. I have a studio and I have a regular sound bath from 6 to 7 on Wednesdays. So you can come and enjoy an actual in-person sound bath. And then I am available for private sessions and I will travel. I have traveled to do women's groups and women's circles, and we make it a
Yes.
whole experience.
Yes. And actually, you are traveling
Yeah.
again to Kinsman to
Yes.
have another sound bath with me and my crew of people. And we are doing that on the 28th of February, right? I believe
Yes. Yes.
at
Yep. Yep.
6:30. So
Yes.
that's another place where people can come and they can actually meet you and they can
Yes.
experience a sound bath.
They can. They can. And I am on Instagram as well. It's Mangatas Muse 1111. And you can see I'm not as active there, but you can at least get my information as to events coming up. I do a
Yeah.
90-minute sound and Reiki event every month. I pick one day, and you can actually meditate for 90 minutes. Be with me for 90 minutes. And there's a whole tea and cacao ceremony. And I have a YouTube channel. I actually do have a YouTube channel at Mangatas Muse. And for those of you who don't know, Mangatas Muse, Mangata is Swedish. Because people are always like, I can't say this word. So let me explain why I picked it. I was a collegiate swimmer. I'm a Cancer, so I'm a water sign. I thrive in the water. And my last name was Mooney, and I was called Moon Girl and Moon, and I actually hyphenate my name because it's a great last name. And
Right.
so, and I'm a Cancer Moon.
Right.
Mangatas means the moon's reflection on the water is what that means. So if you're like, why did she pick this? I'm like, because it's me. It incorporates all of me. But I do have going back, I have a YouTube channel, and you can actually benefit from a sound bath. It doesn't have to be in person. I actually did a virtual one on Wednesday because it was so cold.
Ugh.
So I have a microphone set up, and so YouTube and Zoom and Facebook and Messenger, you can actually have a sound bath. So if I can't get to you, we can still do it virtual, and you do it in the comfort of your own home, which I think is wonderful. I can't believe more people don't do that. I love it. I do sound baths with my instructor, and I lay in bed, put the headphones in, and I'm out. I'm just out.
I love it. That's a great point. Oh,
Yeah, so call me. I can schedule. Like I can do virtual. It would be amazing.
oh.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you, Wendy, so much for sharing all of that information with us. Thanks for having an awesome conversation with me, too, about stress and about kind of what we deal with as women. And I think that's about covers it for today.
I thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you collaborating with me, having me over to Kinsman the first time and inviting me back. And I hope to see a bunch of your smiling faces, some of your clients, and how I can work with you guys to kind of help you relax and maybe face our challenges a little more gracefully.
And together in community, of course.
Yeah. Oh, it's all
Yeah.
about community, is it not?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yes. So thank you.
Thank you for joining me on this journey to educate and empower. I hope you found value in what you heard and will come back to listen again. Together, we're going to create a community of women empowered to transform their health. If you're excited to be part of this, please subscribe, leave a review, and share with the other women in your life who need health support tailored to that X chromosome. Until next time, be kind, be well, cultivate your health.